Welcome SMCC students. I'm Robert Walker.
And I'm Karis McMurtry.
And today we wanted to share a video of Founders Hall so you can see your new future home in 2026.
Welcome to the Founders Hall lobby. This is where we do all sorts of different events for our residents. I always say that you should be entertained, well-fed, and leave here as a well-rounded human being. So we have all sorts of different events ranging from things that are more for our gamers, people who like sports, our crafty people, those who like to cook, and then also just things where people get to hang out and meet other people in the community. So a lot of that takes place here in the lobby. I know it's a little bit quiet right now just because it's early, but as a whole, this space is usually packed with students who are walking around or just spending time with one another in the community.
So let's go on the tour. Walk with us.
Come on.
So Karis, how many levels are in this building?
There are 3 floors and there are east and west wings on each floor.
Okay.
So essentially we have 260 beds in the space. So we're able to house quite a few students. And we separate things by if you're in the east wings or the west wings, first floor, second floor, third floor.
Cool.
Awesome. This is our first stop. This is the battle tank. You can come on in.
Very cool.
This is one of our spaces for students to be able to hang out with one another. This is where people can do large board games, things that probably have quite a few people in them. So things like Settlers of Catan, there's Risk, people play Dungeons and Dragons and things like that in here. Exploding Kittens is a really fun one, especially for a big group. And so this is a really great space because the table is nice and huge. There's a television and big groups of people can play games. Whereas our one on the other side, the board tank, is accessible for things like smaller groups, games that have 2 to 4 players. So there's more board games on that side, but they've got smaller tables. So that way it's a bit more of an intimate setting.
Cool. And are these tanks 24/7?
Over 20, yeah, they're all open 24/7.
Cool.
Awesome. All right, well, let's keep going. All right, we're gonna go up these stairs here. So we do have parking available for students on both sides of the building. So this is the west side. There's quite a bit of parking out here for the students to be able to park 24/7, be able to have friends over and things like that.
And we got mountains back there and trails too.
I know, they're gorgeous. There's a lot of hiking trails just right here, right by the university, which is great.
And I see that you're using a key fob. Is that a security piece for all residents?
Yes, so all of our exterior doors and rooms have a key fob. Most of the time they're blue. Mine's red because it's special. But as a whole, it's how students are going to be able to get access to the building as well as their room and the elevator as well. So that way we can increase the peace of mind for our students on campus.
Cool.
This is our first stop for mail. This is where students can pick up paper mail and small packages and things like that. It's able to be access 24/7 and things like that, but we usually put mail in whenever the mail gets here around 3 o'clock.
Cool.
Awesome, let's keep going. So here on the second floor, we have a lot of recreation areas. We have 2 on both sides that overlook the lobby, which is really great. Both sides have pool tables, which have been recently renovated, which is great. These are used all the time. This is our only amenity that isn't available 24/7 for students, and it's just because pool table makes quite a bit of noise. Over on this side, we have foosball, and then on the other side, we have air hockey available for the students. All right, we're gonna come right in here. That way you guys can see kind of what a room would look like. So this is what our model room looks like. As you can see, it's very big, especially in comparison to some other universities that are local or even apartments that are studio size. These are pretty large spaces for students. We provide the beds and mattresses, the dressers, and the desks. Other than that, we leave it up to the students to make it feel like home based on what they feel like they want to see in their space. Something else that's really big is you will never see communal bathrooms in this community. Wow. Every single unit has their own bathroom. So the only difference between our floor plans is this bathroom only shared between you and your roommate, or is there another door on the other side so it's a Jack and Jill with the other room next door?
Very cool.
So, but the vanity's always in the room, so you're only sharing that with one person. There's also opportunity if you don't want to have a roommate, you can buy out both halves of the room. There's discounts available for that for students that just either don't want to have a roommate. We have some people who spent time in the military and they're like, I'm kind of used to living alone. Yeah. Some people with service animals and they just really prefer to live by by themselves, and that's great. So we offer options for that in both floor plans as well.
Very cool. And a lot of closet space. There's closet
There
space
is a good
here.
amount of closet space.
There's some closet space here, and then even over here too. Way more closet space than you'd see at a typical dorm.
I agree. There's also this little pantry area as well, so that people can have mini fridges, microwaves, things like that, some snacks and stuff. We also have our community kitchen, which we'll see up on the 3rd floor for all of your Costco-sized Eggo waffles and things like that. All those Uncrustables that students love.
Excellent.
All right, let's keep going. All right, making our way into our movie theater. It's probably going to be a little bit darker on screen, but this is our movie theater for students to use. It's open 24/7. It's got bean bags. We're about ready to get some really nice recliners in here too. But this room becomes an all blackout room with this massive projector screen. That case is full of DVDs, so that way, exactly.
Wow, this is comfortable.
It is. It's pretty great. So yeah, it's a great place for students to hang out. People can hook up their computers. They can also hook up their switches if they want to play Mario Kart on the big screen, or it's hooked up with Roku so they can log into Netflix or use the case of DVDs as well.
Very
pretty
cool.
Great. I know. It's honestly like a favorite room. It's always being used. It's pretty great. All right. And just over here is our video game room. So it's just got a slightly different focus.
Okay.
So this room is being remodeled here soon. We are very excited to remodel it. So it's a little bit dated right now, but we're always working to upgrade this community. So in here, we've got couches and consoles and big televisions. So that way students feel like they can hang out with friends, you know, have Mario Kart tournaments and things like that without feeling like they're all crowding around a computer screen or a small television screen in their room. So it makes it that way. There's a nice big open space. We do tournaments and things like that in here. We're able to take the furniture out so that way people can play things like Just Dance, or people will do games where they play Jackbox, and there's a whole group that's in here just all collaborating together and doing something fun on a screen. So,
nice. And this is another 24/7 space
yes,
too?
Absolutely. Yeah. All of the spaces are 24/7 except for those pool tables, which is really great. Yeah. All right. So normally we have resident events throughout the week to help people feel more involved in the community. We try to do 2 to 3 at least every week. And like I said, we want to make sure you're entertained and there's food. Yeah. And we also want to help stretch people. We want people to grow while they're here. Yeah. So there's all sorts of different kinds of activities. I know this weekend we have Friendsgiving, which will be our collaboration with the cafe.
Love
which
food.
will be really great. I know, we love food. This is our delivery tank, which is where students can pick up packages. Things like Amazon or groceries, things like that. Basically, we log it in, they scan their phone or a code from their email, and it'll pop open any boxes that are assigned to them at the moment. Nice. We also have refrigerated ones over here for things like grocery and medications. We know a lot of students really like to do things like meal prepping or meal planning and things like that up in the kitchen. And so this is a great way to have groceries delivered for those who don't drive or don't have the time to. And so you're able to get your groceries delivered. We'll put them in here and you know they're nice and cold for when you're able to pick them up.
I love that. It just takes like the convenience piece to another level.
Exactly. It takes the guesswork out of it too.
Yeah.
All right, let's keep going. We're gonna go up the stairs on this side.
And I see you all have a lot of events and like things posted. Is this like a common thing, just like on every floor?
Yep, absolutely. We're actually redoing them today, so it's a little bit more bare than usual, but we always have monthly calendars with what kinds of events are going on. We had Resident Appreciation Week earlier this week, as well as Thanksgiving. This is where you guys can also see if there are any office closures or announcements. We had our quarterly room inspections this past week where we would go through and we replace air filters. We check and make sure that their faucets are running, their showers are working fine. So that's an announcement we had put on here, quarterly inspections and when they're gonna be. It's also where you can find things like information about leaving a review, the on-call phone number for if you're ever locked out or if you're having a bad day and you need somebody to just check in on you. We've got our phone number for that right here, as well as the Wi-Fi, of course. Everyone needs the Wi-Fi.
Oh, yeah.
So these get updated every week with the kinds of events that are going on. Occasionally, clubs will post things as well, so that way students who live in Founders Hall can know what kinds of fun things are going on around campus.
Cool.
So yeah, earlier or later today, we're going to be putting up things about campus-wide Nerf this weekend. There's obviously Friendsgiving, and then our winner for our virtual pet pageant will get posted up as well.
Oh, nice. Very cool.
All right, let's keep going. Now out this door, you can see a couple of other things as well. We have grills right out here for our students to use. We keep the propane stocked so that way students can just go ahead and grill if they're looking to do, like I said, meal prep or meal planning is really big with a lot of students. And so it's a great thing that's accessible to them. I know our maintenance team also just loves like cooking wings for people. Yeah. If we ever do a cookout, they're always really happy to teach people how to grill too. And then over here on the other side, we have our basketball hoop.
Oh, nice.
Which is really exciting. It's brand new, and lots of people have been utilizing it recently. So that way they're able to get out, especially with this nicer weather we're having. It's pretty great. All right, we got one more floor up here. So on the third floor, our amenities are more so focused towards studying or furthering your education. So we have two more of these amenity tanks to see. This is the collaboration tank or the collab tank. Cool. This is where students can come to work on group projects. Again, it's that nice big table, television. Lots of kids come in here to work on projects or homework together. It's just a nice group setting because then that way you have the accountability. I don't know about you, but I couldn't study in my room in college. Yeah. There were too many distractions.
Had to get out.
Had to get out. And so this is a really great place to get out and do studying somewhere else, but also have the accountability of other people who are also doing the same thing or even working on projects together. Yeah. There were people here last night working on some sort of like a circuit board, and there were like 6 people all working on a circuit board together. And it was just so cool to see the collaboration, not just for their classes, but out here in the community too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love that.
Awesome.
It's so clean too.
I know, it's so nice. These rooms are all fully upgraded. We did a renovation here back in January, which was really exciting. So we're gonna see a couple more of those renovated spaces here on the 3rd floor.
Nice.
We've got a couple coming up here. My favorite, of course, is the kitchen.
Yes.
Love the new kitchen we have.
How does the roommate process work?
Great question, yeah. So I do all the roommate matching myself, and there's a lot of things that go into it. First thing is you fill out a roommate profile. I wanna know like how late are you staying up? Are you a really clean person? Do you prefer to keep a cleaning schedule? Or are you a little bit more casual? Do you like to have guests in your room? Things like that. And so I look at that information, and then I really like to call people as well to get to know them a little bit more, so that way I can make sure that your roommate match is gonna be the best possible option, also so that we have commonalities. Perfect. You know, it's great to have somebody in the same major as you who also is an early riser, but isn't it also nice if you guys listen to the same music, or you guys both like football, or you guys both are from the same area? You know what I mean? Like sometimes it just creates more common ground really early on. And so I really try to make sure that there's options available for that, or an opportunity to get to know the students beforehand. So,
perfect. And like if I have a friend and I'm like, hey, I have this friend who's coming with me, they want to move in, I can put them on that form?
Yep, absolutely. You can always request roommates. And I always take that as a very high consideration. If there are people who want to live together but their roommate profiles don't match very great, I'll probably have conversations with them and say like, hey, I know you really want to live with this person. I would make sure that conversations happen about cleaning, sleep, whatever it may be, just because you guys were very different on your profile. And the last thing I want is cause any kind of tension in your friendship because you really wanted to live together and it may just not be the best fit. Yeah. And so we have those kinds of conversations, but a lot of the time they're pretty similar people. Nice. They like a lot of the same things. And I think it's always better to put people with somebody that they know rather than somebody they don't. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. All right. Well, this is a little bit of a brief stop, but this is where we just have vending machines available for our students, open 24/7. They get restocked frequently, and we always take suggestions on what people want to see. So people were telling us they want more Takis. Great. We'll just call the company and say, hey, can you make more rows of Takis? Yeah. Things like that. There's also big tables for when people do group dinners or, like I said, all that meal prepping. I know I'm a meal prepper, and my whole kitchen counter is like spread out with all the different things, the Tupperware and scooping different things. And so sometimes it's easier to do that here on these big tables. Nice. So that way you feel like everything's out in one big open space. Yeah. All right. Perfect. We're gonna keep going. In here we have our fitness room. There's not a gym within walking distance from campus. I would say maybe biking distance, but probably not walking distance from campus. And for students who don't drive, it makes it so that way this is far more accessible to them. So we have things just like regular elliptical, treadmill. We've got weights. This is our iFit where you can do classes online, and it opens up and it has all the weights that you could possibly need inside. Nice. Things like yoga blocks as well. Yeah, there you go. Get it. There we go. Get it, Robert. So it makes it far more accessible for our students, especially those who don't want to pay for a gym membership, don't want to drive, but also there's so much convenience.
Yeah, it's right here.
It's just right here.
Yeah.
It's just right here. We also have a really great partnership with the Arizona Grand right next door. And we have a lot of students who walk or go on runs over there, or even get memberships for their gym weekly or monthly too.
Very cool. This is a great area.
It's pretty nice. All right, and next we have our laundry facilities. We all know it can be challenging to learn how to do laundry and make sure that you are keeping up with those kinds of things when you are away from home. I feel like it is quite a transition thing for a lot of incoming freshmen or new students. Yeah. And so it's nice that it's here on site. Remember my freshman dorm, it wasn't on site. I had to go take a bus to a location downtown so that I could do my laundry. I had to sit there and wait for it and then take a bus back to my dorm. And it took all day. Yeah. It took all day. And it was $3.50 for a wash. It was so expensive. Yeah. Whereas this allows the convenience. It's not very expensive. There's an app where either you or parents could even refill it. Kind of like having an app on your phone where you're refilling for Chick-fil-A or for McDonald's or things like that. You can just refill it, and then you can just do phone tap, or you can swipe a card if you prefer, but it makes it so that way if parents want to refill it, they totally can. But also it alerts you when your laundry's done. Oh, good. Which is great. So that way you know your laundry's not being left. We don't want it to start to smell. We want to make sure you're able to transition it to the dryer or take it back to your room so that nobody's waiting on it. And so the app does alert the students whenever it's done, or hey, it's been sitting for 20 minutes. Hey, it's been sitting for an hour. Make sure to come get your laundry and things like that. And it makes it so that way we on staff are able to keep tabs, like, do we need to go knock on somebody's door, make sure that they're all good, things like that. As people are learning how to do things like laundry and stuff, it's nice that it's here, it's cheap, and it makes it accessible and reminds you when your stuff is done. Yeah, so you're telling me I don't have to search for quarters. I can just tap on my phone or use my card, and then my parent can also add money to this. Precisely. That's pretty cool. I know. Parents honestly really like that too, because they're like, I want to make sure they're doing their laundry. Yeah. I'll keep refilling it. I'm going to keep refilling it so that way I know that they're doing it, because if it's not running low, parents have questions. Is my kid actually doing their laundry? So it makes it so that way there's accountability with students and parents too. But it makes it so that way the parents feel like they're more involved. They take care of the babies while they're gone. Yeah, I love this high tech. It's really great. All righty. Next, we're going to see my favorite room of all, which is just right here. This is our newly renovated community kitchen. The kitchen, the food. Kitchen, the best room in the whole building. So this was recently renovated back in May. It used to have very high top counters. It was all bright red and had very little opportunity for students to do things like meal prep or eat together. Do you want to come on here? I'll close the door behind us. So this allows a very open concept. Students can be talking to one another while they're cooking and things like that. Beautiful marble countertops. But we've got very large refrigerators and freezers here, and they are video monitored so that students can keep their Costco-sized Eggo waffles here, or they can do their meal prep, label their name on their containers, and keep them in the fridge with that peace of mind. Yeah. Also, the ovens and the stove communicate with our on-call phone, so if something is starting to smoke, or if something's been left in the oven or the oven's been left on, it's going to alert our on-call phone so that way they can check. This oven has cameras inside, so we can see, oh, there's a pizza burning, or there's nothing in the oven, I'm gonna go ahead and turn it off. These have timers on them and different levels. It's a touch screen, so people are able to have individual cooking stations. It's not just one stove where one person can cook. 3 people could be cooking all at the same time. Wow. We've also got the nice induction fans, so that way you prevent any kind of issues with smoke or steam coming up. And then we also have an appliance wall back over here for things like toasters, coffee makers, rice cookers, air fryers. Some of them do have people's names on them because we don't allow them in their rooms. And so they were things that they were either gifted and they brought in here because this is where it's the safest for it to stay. But things like blenders, air fryers, rice cookers, and things like that, they're not typically allowed in people's rooms. So we make sure that they have really, really nice ones here to use for themselves. And all they got to do is make sure that things are cleaned up before they leave. That's all there is to it. We also have cabinets for their food. They can keep them in here as long as it's got their name on it. We do clean out the kitchen every once in a while just to make sure things aren't going bad, things have names on them and things like that. And then we've also got all the cooking supplies that people need. So if you need things like brownie tins, or if you need mixing bowls, or or if you need a whisk or a sharp knife, all of those supplies are already here for the students to use. You don't have to buy anything.
Yeah.
You just bring the ingredients and Tupperware to store any of your leftovers and make sure your name's on everything. That's really all there is to it.
Wow. So you have cooking supplies. I see a coffee maker.
Mm-hmm.
We've got ovens, individual stations. We've got the oven. I think that's a toaster oven too.
Yep, it's got a pizza oven and an air fryer in the bottom one too.
And we've got 2 refrigerators, 1 shared, and then appliances over here in this big, beautiful island.
Prepping area. It's great.
This is heaven.
I know. We were redoing this kitchen at the same time we did the kitchen in my house.
Yeah.
And I saw this kitchen. I was like, man, this looks so much better than my nice new kitchen. So a lot of thought and effort went into how are we going to make this really applicable for the students who live here. They do things like meal prep, or they cook dinner with friends, or things like that. We also have a lot of people who just really prefer the chicken nuggets and the Eggo waffles. And so having multiple ovens, multiple cooking stations was really important to us when we redesigned this kitchen as a whole. So makes it far more accessible for the students.
Yeah.
All righty, let's keep it going. And we are almost to the end of our tour. This is our last stop in the building, and this is our other study space.
Okay.
So we had the collaboration tank, which is great for group projects, but this is the think tank, which normally this light is actually off to provide some additional vibes.
Oh.
But this is a great space for students to do individual study.
Yeah.
These different desks can move around. They can connect to make a bigger space. They can fold down if people need, but we've got wipe-off boards and things like that. It's just, there's something about the ambiance of studying in like a very cool and clean and aesthetic place.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And so this is a great space for students to study, work on projects. Some people will hunker down in here for 6-8 hours and get all their homework busted out. But it's really nice to see there's a space for this.
Yeah, and there's individual stations here. I like that.
Yeah, it's nice. And then people can, grab a desk and you can sit on the couch if you think that that's better. Or if you feel like you need to spread out a little more, these desks can come together, they roll, and they can make, a hexagon instead of a triangle. And that way you have more space to do your bigger projects and have more space to feel like this is a study space. As opposed to being in your room. Because like we said earlier, sometimes it's hard to study in your room. There's a lot of distractions or things like that. And so this room really just provides that space that I feel like a lot of people use and need.
Perfect. And I love this.
I know.
404 sleep not found.
We definitely put a lot of thought into what that was going to say. There were so many options when we were working with the designer. And so we just felt like it fit. It just really fit. We wanted something to do with like not sleeping or up all night studying. And so this was just perfect. And
I think it's like a perfect representation. Like you said, the spaces are 24/7. So if you don't find sleep, you can come in here and work.
Exactly. Or come in here and play on your Switch or, or come play a board game with somebody even if you really wanted to. All right. So we'll head down this way. We can go down this staircase. It's really nice that this building is so close and accessible to the main building of campus, and that includes the cafeteria. The cafe is right there, so that way students feel like if they don't want to cook in the kitchen, they can go get a meal if they have a meal plan to enjoy a good home cooked meal. Willie and Lynn are great. They make 3 meals a day, plus there's late night where students can get things like hot wings, mac and cheese, those kinds of things.
Very cool.
The late night study bites.
Very cool.
And so it's nice that this building is so close in proximity to things like food. Because we all know what's important to a college student.
Food.
It's
beautiful grounds too.
I know. Right here is a good place to see. This is our quad. We've got like a beautiful grass area for students to be able to hang out. We have students who put hammocks into those trees, and we have things like people play ultimate frisbee or football, or we do s'mores nights or tie-dye and things like that, just because when the weather's nice, you gotta take advantage of it. And so it's really nice to have your own little oasis, because let's face it, it's the desert. There's not a lot of green. But this is so special and unique. I think the quad is probably like my favorite part of campus as a whole. Just because it's nice to see.
And then there's a Starbucks right there,
there's
in and out
too. Starbucks and In and Out right there. And there's also a grocery store right across the street, so it's in walking distance if students do need things. There's also Goodwill. There's Little Caesars. I don't know if you've had the Thai place right across the street.
Oh yeah.
So good. Love the Thai place across the street. All right, let's go down these stairs. And as we walk, you can see, yeah, the cafeteria in the cafe is right here for students to be able to have access to meals. We also have lots of bike racks available for students. So that way, if they are biking or using an e-scooter or something of the sort, they have a safe place to store it, and we tag them so that way we know it belongs to a student.
Yeah.
Just to keep, like I said, peace of mind and safety. You can never guarantee, but we always say it's at the very front of our minds. Our last quote unquote amenity, he's not out right now because of the weather, but we have our campus cat Maxwell. And he is a 9-year-old orange tabby. We love him very, very much. But with the weather, he was brought inside today just because of the rain last night and the rain to come here this afternoon.
Yeah.
We wanted to make sure that Maxwell was safe and, dry.
Yeah.
But he does have a little house, a little apartment over here where we keep things for him. He's got an automatic feeder and water dish that we take care of him. He's got a little mailbox with treats and a brush and a little heated apartment here for the winter. The students love him. People will just come sit here, and he wants nothing more than to sit on somebody's lap and to get pet and snuggles and to be brushed. And so I think it's really unique that we have that here on campus.
Yeah.
So like I said, he's inside today just with all the rain we've been experiencing, but he is so spoiled both inside and outside. This cat is the king of the quad, I swear. So, but we love him very much.
Cool. And I mean, I like everything that I see, like from the campus cat, who I haven't seen yet, but I can't wait to the rooms and everything. I think it's beautiful here.
Yeah.
For me and for the students, what's the process like? How quick, if I wanted to walk in and move into Founders Hall, how quick is that process?
It can be extremely quick, honestly. We have an application process, which does include a background check and then docu-signing for your lease agreement. There's really not that much to it. I feel like there have been times when people can come into my office and it's about 2 hours later that we're able to get them in, get them a roommate match and things like that. And we try to make sure that it is a seamless process from start to finish. So sometimes people do sit in my office and they get in 2 hours. Some people say, hey, I'm here on Friday. I need to move in on Monday, and we can really make that happen for them. And so we really try to make sure that it's a seamless process and we meet people where they're at. I feel like we don't want people to feel like they have to wait until a certain time to make that decision. We don't want people to feel like they're rushed or that it's not a good time. We want to make sure that people feel like they have that support. If now is the right time, then now is the right time for you. And so we want to meet them where they're at with that.
Excellent. Well, you heard it here, folks. Founders Hall is accepting applications for housing for spring, summer, and fall 2026. Get your room now.